Welcome to the First Player Token Podcast, a short podcast for folks who enjoy playing board games with family and friends. I'm your host, Derek Bruff. In this episode, I have another family board game recommendation, ICECOOL. I have a confession. I don't really like dexterity games. You know, games like Jenga where hand-eye coordination matters. It's not that I'm terrible at these games, although I can be pretty bad. I just prefer knowing that when I make a move in a game, if it doesn't work out, I can't blame my own physical skills. If the game involves flipping things, or stacking things, or unstacking things like Jenga, I'm generally not a fan. However, I have found a dexterity game that's quickly becoming a favorite. ICECOOL, a 2016 game designed by Brian Gomez and published by Brain Games. The kids call it the penguin game because it involves flicking little plastic penguins around a cardboard maze decked out to look like a penguin school in the Antarctic. Why is ICECOOL so much fun? Well, there are the penguins, which are plastic figures about 1.5 inches high. They wobble a little, but they balance themselves and stand up. Then there's the penguin school, which is formed out of open-topped cardboard boxes that you fit together to form a 5-room schoolhouse. Each room has one or more doorways, just big enough for the plastic penguins to fit through. The main mechanic of the game is flicking those penguins through those doorways around the school, collecting fish as you go. It is so much fun. Oh my goodness.
Hey! I am in
Whoa.
real trouble.
That's dangerous.
My turn?
Hey,
Yep.
come and touch me. Nope.
What was that move? You did a backflip.
Yep.
Who's
the catchers?
Me. No, there's only one catcher.
Each round, one player is the catcher, while the other players are runners. The runners are trying to flick their penguins through 3 specific doorways in the school. Each time they do, they draw a fish card from a deck, scoring 1, 2, or 3 victory points. Meanwhile, the catcher is flicking their penguin around the school trying to tag the runners. The catcher is basically the hall monitor, catching penguins playing hooky from class. Each time the catcher tags a runner penguin, the catcher takes the runner's ID card. This is penguin school, so each penguin has a school ID card, naturally. The round is over when one runner goes through all 3 designated doorways, collecting all their fish, or when the catcher tags all the runner penguins. At that point, each ID card is worth 1 bonus fish card. If a runner didn't get caught, they'll still have their ID card and get to draw a fish card, again scoring 1, 2, or 3 points. The catcher will have at least 1 ID card, their own, and up to 3 others depending on how well they did catching the penguins. They'll get a fish card for each one, and this is how a catcher can earn points on their turn. The game ends after every player has been the catcher. Then everyone tallies up their fish points, and whoever has the most points is the winner. It's that simple. Well, almost that simple. There's one bit of pure strategy. If you're unlucky enough to draw a couple of fish cards that show only 1 victory point each, as a consolation, you can flip them over for an extra flick whenever it's your turn. A well-timed bonus flick can make a big difference, whether you're a runner or a catcher. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do, but at least I'll get through that door.
Oh, come on!
Oh, you missed him!
I just missed him!
Wow.
Daniel.
Oh my goodness.
Did I even
I
touch
think
him?
you went all the way around me.
Yeah, you moved him.
Woo!
ICECOOL is light and fun and kind of bonkers, with plastic penguins careening all around the board. And sometimes over the board. If you flick the very top of your penguin, you can make him jump. If you do it right, he'll jump over a wall. My stepson is the best at flicking his penguin over a wall into another room. Doorways, where we're going, we don't need doorways. Just be careful when you try this. If your penguin jumps out of the school altogether, you'll lose your turn. The box says ICECOOL is for ages 6 and up, and that sounds about right, unless your 5-year-old is a particularly talented flicker. The game plays fast, somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes, depending on the number of players. ICECOOL plays between 2 and 4 players, but you can play with up to 8 players if you also play with the sequel, ICECOOL 2. And this is what you should do. This is the way. ICECOOL 2 is both a sequel and an expansion to ICECOOL. It comes with another 5 cardboard boxes you can use to form a schoolhouse, as well as 4 more penguins and matching ID cards in different colors from the original game. You can play ICECOOL 2 all by itself, much like you would play the original game, or you can combine the games to create a much bigger schoolhouse for your penguins and play with up to 8 players at once. The instructions for ICECOOL 2 provide some suggested layouts for your mega schoolhouse, from the 8-room kindergarten court, good at lower player counts, to the 10-room Big Tuna University for an epic game of penguin tag. There's also Iceberg Alley, which features 2 sliding rooms for extra chaos. ICECOOL 2 also steps up the humor in its depiction of a penguin schoolhouse. The new art room is my favorite, with penguin-themed versions of Girl with a Pearl Earring, American Gothic, and The Scream. And I should have mentioned that the penguin ID cards in both versions of the game feature lively cartoon depictions of penguins. Each is double-sided, so you can pick your favorite color penguin, then decide if you'd like a more boyish character or a more girlish one. This goes over well with the kids. For more on both the original game and the sequel/expansion, let's go to our marine ornithologist correspondent for her thoughts on ICECOOL. We are here to talk about this game.
ICECOOL.
And what do we like to call this game?
Penguin game.
That's right, the penguin game. And it comes with all of these cute little penguin IDs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the green one the best because she's really, really pretty.
Because there's lots of colors, right? You can be blue and orange and
Yeah.
purple and teal. Yeah. When we play the penguin game, how many players do we have?
7.
7. Yes.
I was counting on my fingers.
Yes, because we have actually both penguin games, ICECOOL and ICECOOL 2, and we can combine them into a mega game, and it's so much fun. What do you like about this game?
I like about that, and it's really fun just clicking it, and it can go over the wall or through the door, and it's really tricky to get through the door sometimes. Once, I never got out of the room, and then one of the security guards got me before I even got out of that room. It was so sad.
Yeah, that is sad. You want to at least get out of the room you started in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a strategy for winning this game?
I have strategy, like, whatever fish is the closest to me, I go for, and whichever, one that's farther away from me, I save for last.
Gotcha. That's smart. So, how do you feel about flicking penguins?
It's fun, and it also hurts your fingernail.
Maybe just a little bit, yes, if you don't flick it the right way. Do you like to play it when it's like a smaller maze or like a giant maze?
Giant!
Yeah, me too. I think that's more fun. And when you have like 7 or 8 players, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So if you were going to tell a friend of yours why they should play ICECOOL, what would you tell them?
That's fun. And also, there's 2 security guards. You can play it with a lot of people. And it's also pretty hard and pretty challenging. That's what makes it fun.
That's true. Yeah. What about those penguins? What if it was like llamas or hamburgers or something?
I would like it if it was unicorns.
Unicorns. Okay.
Or lizards, because my second favorite animal is lizards.
That is good to know. Okay, so if it weren't penguins, unicorns or lizards?
Lizards. I'm having a lizard head.
You do have a lizard head. All right, well, thank you so much for the interview. This was really great. And I can't wait to play this game again with you sometime soon.
Why don't you say thank you for the interview?
Thank you!
ICECOOL 2 also introduces a couple of new strategic elements. There's 2 fish move fish, which allows players to flip over 2 of their 2-point fish cards and move a fish from one doorway to another. And some of the 1-point fish cards have trick shots listed on them, like jumping over a wall or sending your penguin through 2 doorways in one flick. If you make a trick shot, you get to draw a bonus fish card for more points. Whether you play ICECOOL, ICECOOL 2, or combine the two, which is what you should do, you're in for a light, fun, family-friendly game that will have you cheering on for cute, colorful penguins. That's it for this episode of the First Player Token podcast. See the show notes for more info and photos of ICECOOL, as well as links to the podcast's new Facebook group. And if you have a minute, please share this or any other episode on your social media platform of choice. That goes a long way to helping new listeners find us. I've been your host, Derek Bruff. Thanks for listening. Now it's time to play some games.
I do
Okay.
not.
My turn.
Yep.
I'm
Gotta
kidding.
get out of the hot zone.
I'm just
He's
kidding.
not gonna make it. Yeah, he is.
And that's 3.
That's
End of
3.
round.
Man,
Yummy, tasty fish.
almost got him. So I get 4 bursts.
1, 2, 3, and 4 for you, and 1 for you. You're not getting tagged.
catcher. I'm the
Well done.